Hi friends, welcome back to the Saffron Box. I'm Yamini Sharma, and today in this video I'll be talking about the month of December 2023. So we all know that this is the last month of the year, and this year ends with a lot of important transits which have happened, right? So Rahu and Ketu have changed their signs. Jupiter is in Aries currently, retrograde, and by the end of the year, that is exactly on the last day of the year, Jupiter would also be turning direct within Aries. Saturn has recently become direct. So, a lot of shift in planetary energy has happened in the last few weeks, in the weeks gone by, and it does impact all of us, especially when you are running the dashas of these planets, right? So if you are undergoing a dasha of Rahu or Ketu or Jupiter for that matter, then there is a lot of changes which one tends to see. So this has been an eventful year for a lot of people. Globally also it's been an eventful year. A lot of things are going to change. This has been a year of transformation. By the end of the year also, there would be a lot of changes which will come into effect. A lot of new things will get triggered in as well, right? So this is also a year of Ketu. It is ending a 7-year cycle also in a way. So 7 again is a very important number, so to say, and especially when we associate it with Ketu, a lot of breakdown happens and new generation also happens, right? So regeneration also comes in. So apart from that, all this shift in energies, etc., is going to trigger in a lot of important points, a lot of important events for all of us. And today we are going to be understanding as to how these planetary energies are going to impact us all. We'll see all the ascendants, all the rashis, and then we'll understand as to how what kind of results or what kind of forecasts are there for all of us. But do remember that whenever we are talking about transits, any movement for that matter, any planet shifting, transits happening, planets becoming direct or retrograde, all these things trigger in the events which have already been promised to you. So only in your natal chart, everything depends on the quality of your natal chart first of all, and then thereafter the relevant dashas also need to be running in your lifetime. So for example, if you have very good wealth yogas in your chart talks about bringing a lot of riches and a lot of wealth to you, but the relevant dashas, the planets which are actually going to deliver that wealth to you or actually going to make favorable circumstances for you to break into the wealthy bracket, if those dashas only don't kick in at the right time, or those come very late in life when you're in your 70s 80s, then it's very obvious then you will not be able to enjoy the wealth and riches which come to you if they come in very late. And if those dashas don't come into your lifetime only at the right time, or you don't meet those dashas in your lifetime, because you see there is a 120-year period as per the Vimshotri dasha, right? So we are not going to be living up to 120 years. It is a very rare occurrence. So all the planets, the entire planetary cycles, all the planets will complete their dashas in a 120-year cycle. So if the relevant dashas don't fit into your lifetime at the right time, the results would obviously not kick in, right? So a lot of things depends on the natal chart, the relevant dashas, and then the transits bring those things to you, right? So if you have the right wealth yogas, I'm just taking an example of wealth, it's a good example. If you have the good wealth yogas in your chart, the right dashas are also coming in, you're running the right dashas, you're making efforts also accordingly, and then the transits also come. So that is when the delivery of the results comes to you, right? So that is when the entire thing, the fruition or the fructification of the entire event occurs. The event comes in, you get the benefits, you get the fruits of that particular promise, right? So a lot of things depend on our natal chart. They depend on a lot of combinations, and a thorough study of the natal chart is always advised, so that we are able to take a guideline and see how we can actually maximize on the opportunities which are going to come our way, and how do we mitigate the losses or the damages which we might encounter in our lifetime, right? So what do we be careful about? How do we play on our strengths? How do we uh, handle our weaknesses? How do we take care of the opportunities which come to us, right? So it is basically a way, whenever we do a chart reading, we are basically helping you understand how to optimize whatever life is giving you, how to play with the energies, right? So that's how it is, and that's how astrology helps people. You are able to navigate through life in a better fashion, right? So I'll go on to the transits which I see for this month, and then thereafter I'll go from Aries till Pisces, and I'll explain the ascendant or the rising sign wise forecast as well, right? Till this point, if you haven't subscribed, do consider subscribing. If you like the content, do hit the like button, right? And if you've already subscribed, if you're already a subscriber to the Saffron Box, if you're watching the content, a big thank you to you, and I really hope our association grows, and um I'll be bringing in more content in the coming year. That's something which I'm looking forward to myself, right? So let's talk about the transits. This month we will see Sun moving out of the sign of Scorpio into the sign of Sagittarius, right? So it is moving from a Martian sign to a Jupiterian sign, friendly signs, and a lot of energy will be there along with Sun. There's a lot of boost of energy, because along with the sun who's the king, Mars is also moving in, right? So Mars is also in the sign of Scorpio, and it will be moving along later on along with Sun to the sign of Sagittarius, but of course much later. Then we have Mercury. Mercury is currently in Sagittarius. It will become retrograde in Sagittarius itself, go back to the sign of Scorpio, which is an inimical sign for Mercury, and this is again something which is a red flag for many people. Then we have Venus in its own sign of Libra most of the month. It's Mool's Trikona sign, and by the end of the month, Venus will also move into the sign of Scorpio, right? So a lot of energy is moving towards the sign of Scorpio, especially with Sun, Mars. Venus will move in later, but there's a lot of energy of transformation in the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio is anyways the sign of transformation. If you see the national horoscope, it falls in the 8th house, which is anyways a house of change, of regeneration, of breaking down and then putting things together as well. Then we have Jupiter. By the end of the month, precisely on the last day of the month, Jupiter will be becoming direct in the sign of Aries. And most of the month we also have Jupiter and Venus aspecting each other, right? So Jupiter is in Aries and Venus is in Libra, so and they're aspecting each other. Saturn, as I mentioned, has already become direct in its own sign of Aquarius, so Saturn is there. Rahu and Ketu. Rahu is in Pisces now, and Ketu is in the sign of Virgo, right? So a lot of changes have happened, and now I'll talk about all the signs. So starting with Aries. Now for Aries, you see your ascendant ruler, that is Mars, is spending time in its other sign, that is Scorpio, in your 8th house with Sun. There's a lot of indication of changes happening, changes towards your health, changes towards the way you are handling your relationships, towards how you handling all the changes in your life, right? So you have to be open to change, and see how you are adapting to the transformation which is occurring in your life, right? A lot of fiery energy is what I see in the 8th house for you. For a lot of people, this also shows a red flag. The Sun and Mars energy over here does bring in possibilities of getting hurt, getting injuries while you're handling electrical items. So stay away from any situation where you might get a electric shock, or some possibility of a burn, etc. is there. Apart from that, do be very very careful when it comes to driving, right? So this is a month of caution. How you drive, do not get into any rash driving, any road rage. Sun being here could also invite some kind of penalties on you, penalties or fines. So make sure that whatever you're doing, whatever dues are to be paid to the government, paid in time. Any late fine or penalties, etc., need to be avoided this entire month. Also, work wise, I would say that this is a good month. A lot of people are going to see a good and comfortable environment at your workplace. You would be comfortable there. Things may progress the way you want them to progress. A lot of energy play is there in terms of people who are handling their own business, their own work. If you're working on commissions, if you're working on, or you're trading regularly, then this is going to be an eventful month also for you, right? With your partner, there could be some ideological differences. That is something which I definitely see. And whenever Jupiter and Venus are mutually aspecting each other, remember both of them are gurus. So there's usually a clash of ideas when it comes to Jupiter and Venus aspecting each other, or directly in front of each other. So ideological differences, clash of ideas, etc. are indicated. So handle that with caution. Overall, this is a month which will help you out in terms of your education or learning opportunities, etc. Also, with Jupiter becoming direct also in the Lagna. So the ninth lord, Jupiter becoming direct in the Lagna. Jupiter also rules the 12th house. So if you're looking at some education opportunities, travel opportunities, some of you may also look at taking up a journey to a holy place, etc. So overall, a good month. The areas of caution I've already mentioned for the Aries ascendant. Then moving on to the next sign of Taurus. So if you have a Taurus ascendant, then your Lagnesh, that is Venus, is sitting in the 6th house in its own sign of Libra, and it's Mool Trikona Rashi, Mool Trikona sign. And we'll have a lot of interplay of planets in the sign of Scorpio, with Sun being here, Mars being here. Mercury would also become retrograde and enter the sign of Scorpio. Jupiter is currently in your 12th house. Jupiter will also be becoming direct by the end of the month. So a lot of energy towards relationships, towards the way you handle yourself, towards the way you handle people sitting across you, right? So seventh house, whenever it is jam packed with so much of energy, it is basically talking about people who are sitting opposite to you, right? People whom you deal with, people whom you make an agreement with, you shake hands with, right? So it is your married partner, of course, because your partner is complementary to you, right? Opposite you. Your marriage, your business partner, anybody with whom you're signing up a contract or an agreement. So these things also have to be taken care of, right? Your paperwork has to be decent. Your uh, important to read the fine print whenever you're signing any document. That is again very important for the Taurus ascendant, right? With Mercury being retrograde and coming back into the sign of Scorpio, there could be some mistakes which might happen, right? So paperwork has to be seen, especially when it requires any monetary angle, right? So any monetary consideration, wherever it is there, do take care of your paperwork. uh, Time to be meticulous, time to plan properly and then move ahead. So this month you could deal with a lot of events happening all of a sudden. So your plans could be thrown out of order. Some haphazard way of working might be there, might be seen. So your routine may get a little upset because of a lot of interaction, because a lot of dealings with other people, right? So too much of interaction, how you manage around things is going to be a challenge. It is also very important to remain patient with your life partner. Do not be impulsive, do not get angered easily, right? With Sun and Mars here, usually it shows impulse, it shows anger issues creeping in a marriage also, right? So work wise, this is going to be a great month, especially with your yoga karak Saturn, which is already there sitting in your 10th house and is direct also now. Work wise is going to be a good month. Work related travel could also come in. And also some of you who have any problems related to their lower abdomen, related to the hip region, etc., should also be a little careful. So if you have any chronic problems, do get yourself checked, right? Apart from this, if you're dealing with any competition, if you're dealing with any you know any situation where there is a competition, whether it is getting a seat at a college, whether it is for a promotion, etc., you could be very competitive. So situations do favor you also this month. Now moving on to the next sign of Gemini. So if you have a Gemini ascendant or Gemini rising, you are, then for you, the Lagnesh, that is Mercury, is going to be in the sign of Sagittarius, and then it's going to become retrograde, move back into the sign of Scorpio, which is your 6th house, right? So here a lot of play of energy is happening in your 5th, 6th and 7th houses. A lot of creativity, managing yourself, coming up with creative solutions, managing your time properly, managing your resources properly. These things are going to be the agenda of the month, right? Using your creative energy properly. So those of you who are in the creative fields, you work with your hands, you create things with your hands, you write, you have to do anything creative, whether in the field of entertainment or music or anything like that, which deals with entertainment, deals with a lot of creativity. This is going to be a very eventful month for you, right? Venus is also sitting pretty in its own house, that is Libra, in the 5th house, right? So and Venus being here will give you a lot of support, will give you a lot of support in the kind of endeavors you are taking up, right? So a good month, good for people who are taking up education in fields of art, etc., fine arts, liberal arts, etc. So you may get more choices, you may get through to the places you want to. Very favorable month for that. Also Venus also helps you in getting a better deal in things, right? So even if you're investing your money or any kind of deals which you're making, Venus helps you out. Jupiter is also aspecting the fifth house, so there is going to be a lot of gain on the material side also. So I would say this is a great month for the Gemini ascendant. Those of you who are planning a child, you're looking at conception, this month may also bring in some positivity or some positive news for you. If you have been undergoing any kind of treatment or any fertility issues were there, this month could resolve a lot of things also. Again, depends on the dasha, depends on the natal chart. These things have to be seen with the background of your natal chart also, but overall positive indications are seen. uh, if you have any problems related to the digestion, then this month you need to be careful, right? So be careful about your food intake, be careful about your digestive health. So stomach related issues, gallbladder, etc., these parts may be a little problematic if you're already in that space where your health is not good, right? So that is something which you'll have to really manage through as well. Overall, work wise also, this is a great month for people who are doing their own business, etc., or who are self-employed. As I said, use your creativity and grab the chances which are there around you, right? It's a month of opportunities also for you. Now moving forward to the next ascendant of Cancer. So if you are a Cancer ascendant or a Cancer rising, this month we see Venus in the fourth house for you. We see Sun and Mars in the fifth house. Mars is going to be in its own sign. Sun is going to be there for the first half of the month, and then Sun moves on to the next sign of Sagittarius, that is the sixth house. This month is good for wealth. Sun is moving from the triangle house, that is the fifth house, into the sixth house. Though it's the sixth house, is a Trik Bhava, but it is also the part of the Artha trine, right? So second lord coming to the sixth house. Jupiter is sitting in the 10th house, another Artha house, and Jupiter is also your ninth lord. It is the planet which rules over your luck also. So Jupiter aspects the second house, the sixth house, as well as the second lord, that is Sun. So a lot of impetus to wealth, increase in wealth, money making opportunities may come up your way, right? So those of you who are in the creative fields, etc., especially, or you're dealing with land, you're dealing with vehicles, etc., this could be a good month for you. Good month for your business, good month for your overall money matters also. This month you may also feel very competitive, and if you are in a field where there's a lot of competition, or you are in a situation where you have to really beat the competition, this could be a good month for you. So you get the support of your Bhagyesh, that is Jupiter. Sun is sitting in a good place for you as well. Your efforts need to definitely increase. A lot of hard work, if you have been doing for the last few weeks, that is when this month is going to give you good results also, right? So if you've put in a lot of hard work, a lot of persistent efforts have been going from your side, then this month will definitely bring in a lot of results, right? Creative energy has to be there. You need to exploit your creative energy to get the best out of your situations. A lot of expansion also is there on the cards regarding your network circles, right? So if you're somebody who's in the creative fields, designing, arts, liberal arts, and there's so many things, one can't really cover them all here. But reaching out to your relevant circles may also open gates for new opportunities. So encash on that. Overall, a great month for the Cancer ascendant. Wealth wise, you're very well placed. Money wise, you're well placed. Opportunities are definitely coming and knocking on your door, right? Then I move on to the next ascendant of Leo. So if you are a Leo ascendant or Leo rising, Sun, that is your Lagnesh, is moving out of your fourth house into the fifth house, right? So Sun will be spending time in Scorpio for the first half of the month, and then moves down to the next sign of Sagittarius. Sun and Mars are going to be together also in your fourth house. Mercury will also transit back from the sign of Sagittarius to the sign of Scorpio. Venus, again a very important planet for you because it has the ownership of the 10th house and the third house. Growth houses are with Venus. So Venus is also in the third house itself. This month, a lot of property matters or house matters will be the area of focus. So if you're somebody who deals with property, or there's a property matter or a property dispute also which is going on, this month will show you a lot of action. There'll be a lot of things happening. So eventful month with regard to property. So those of you who are looking at making a house, investing into property, investing into land, etc., this could also show up opportunities for you, right? With a lot of delay, though delay has happened, but I think this month is going to open some new opportunities for you. Good for such dealings, land, property, etc., but this is not a very great month for your domestic environment, right? So conflicts at home or being restless at home could also be seen. Your relationship with your mother could also be strained during this entire month, right? So it's important to keep your cool, not be very impulsive, and be respectful towards your mother. So chuck off or leave the ego issues if in case you're dealing with your mother or your brother, for that matter, for your siblings also. If you have any ego issues because of which your relationship is getting hampered, it's time to throw that ego or throw that arrogance out of the window and try to maintain cordiality at least, right? This is important thing for the Leo ascendant, as I see. Overall, your relationships also might be a little strained, right? With Venus in the third house, Saturn is anyways there transiting through its sign of Aquarius in the seventh house, aspecting the Lagna. Saturn is is a malefic planet for you, for the Leo ascendant anyways, and otherwise also it's the 6th and the 7th lord, right? So entire transit of Saturn in the sign of Aquarius is anyways going to be strained, going to bring in a lot of stress and strain to your relationships. So keep your relationships nice and proper is what my word of advice would be for you. Overall, those of you who are looking at education opportunities, opportunities to study, opportunities to travel, etc., I think this month will be great. You'll get to travel the way you like. Your travel could be good, travels could be comfortable. If you're moving out for education or upgrading your skills, learning something new, then such opportunities may come up as well, right? Work related travel is already seen. So for work you might travel, and it could be fruitful travel as well, right? Then I move on to the next ascendant of Virgo. So if you are a Virgo ascendant, Virgo rising, this month we see Mercury, which is the Lagnesh. Mercury is going to be in the 4th house, that is Sagittarius, for some time, and then will become retrograde, come back to the 3rd house, that is Scorpio. Sun and Mars are going to be there together in the sign of Scorpio for the first half. Then Sun moves out, goes to Sagittarius. We also see the second lord, that is Venus, sitting in its own house, that is the second house of money, of wealth, right, of your accumulated assets, your pocket, right? So this is going to be a good month in terms of your money. Jupiter is also sitting in the 8th house, and Venus and Jupiter are aspecting each other also. While there might be some differences in terms of, ideology, or some mental differences between you and your family members, sometimes your spouse as well, but overall, money wise, this is a month of gains. Some of you might look at some windfall gain, some inherited money may, inheritance may come to you. So unearned money or good amount of money, wealth may come in. So there are gains indicated. There could be expenses on travels, etc. Some of you may look at relocation, may look at traveling, shifting their houses, right? So travel expenses are definitely going to be there on the rise. Sun and Mars are going to be together, and especially with Mars sitting in the third house in the sign of Scorpio. Remember, when Mars is in the sign of Aries, a different energy plays up, but when Mars is in the sign of Scorpio, the energy is totally different, right? So this could give you some arguments or unpleasant situations with your siblings, with your neighbors, with your childhood friends, right? So this month could be a little challenging because you're not communicating properly with with your siblings or with your friends, etc., or you're being arrogant, or you are not ready to bend and listen to somebody else's point of view, right? So this month you've got to be receptive and be flexible, be more receptive to what other people are trying to say. So learn to empathize this month, and things may go well. So this could be a little tricky month, especially with the Virgo ascendant. Mars is a very tricky planet for you. It has the third house ownership and the 8th house ownership as well. And when Mars is sitting strong, whether in the transit itself, it brings a lot of tricky situations also, right? So you've got to be careful there. Also, some amount of confusion or lack of clarity may happen if you're making any business deals, etc. So read between the lines properly. Do not get into any deals in haste, especially with you, since Mercury, the Lagnesh itself, is retrograde and moving back to an inimical sign. So any important deal which you have to make, or even for that matter, people who are getting looking out for alliances, for marriage, you are in that matchmaking stage, etc., before you commit to anybody in any manner, step back and think 2 times, think 3 times, discuss out with other people, with your trusted people, with your family members, your well-wishers, and then take a step, right? So I would say that any important decision, maybe you would like to pend it to the next month. So this month, avoid any important decision, right? That's important for the Virgo ascendant. Then I move on to the next sign of Libra. So if you are a Libra rising, Libra ascendant, this month we see Venus, that is your Lagnesh, sitting in the first house itself, right? This is a boost of energy. This is fresh infusion of energy. Whenever the Lagnesh comes to the Lagna, it's like, it has gone and now it has come to recharge itself, right? So that is the kind of energy which comes. So Venus here is recharging itself, Lagna is getting recharged. That is how, I would like to put it lightly. But this also gives you fresh ideas. This makes you focus on yourself. So a lot of Libra people would look at making small changes to their appearance, or maybe getting a new haircut, getting new clothes for yourself, redoing yourself physically, right? Taking care of your skin, or doing things which make you look good, which make you appear nice and good looking to the other people, right? So your self care, your looks and all that will really matter to you this month. So a lot of focus there. Apart from that, we see Sun and Mars together in the second house, and then Sun moves to the third house by the second half of the month, by 16 December. So Sun and Mars energy, especially coupled with Mercury also going back from the third to the second house, does bring in situations where you might be impulsive, or you might be a little loose tongued, right? So you may just say things which you maybe don't mean, or which may sound very rude to other people. So your words, your speech may damage a lot of relationships around you, especially with your spouse. So this month, I would say it's better to keep quiet than utter something which you might regret later, especially with your business partner, with your spouse, etc., with your younger siblings also. So a month of caution. How you deal with people is very important. How you communicate with people is very important. Otherwise, if you see the other planets, Saturn, your yoga karak, is in the fifth house. Good for gains, good for your relationship with your children, good for your own learning, etc. And if you're looking at any investments in the stock market or in equity, etc., this is again a good month for you. Jupiter is going to be becoming direct by the end of the year, that is on the last day of the year, in fact. And Jupiter is aspecting the Lagna also. So a lot of conflicts which you were dealing with, a lot of legal hassles or medical hassles which you were dealing with, may start seeing some progress towards, they may start moving towards a positive direction by the end of the month, with Jupiter becoming direct, and slowly, as the degrees also change, right? So a lot of changes are there. Avoid any conflict and fights with people, right? So this month, it's better to be quiet than get into any issues. So work wise, this is going to be an okay month, not a very eventful month for you, but yeah, okay month. Keep your communication under check. Then I move on to the next sign of Scorpio. So if you're a Scorpio ascendant or a Scorpio rising, this month we begin with Sun and Mars together in your Lagna. Mars in its own sign of Scorpio. Recharging time for Mars. But as I mentioned earlier also, and I think mentioned it earlier, Mars sitting in the sign of Scorpio is a different kind of energy, right? So it breaks down, it transforms, though it's your Lagnesh, but a lot of transformation is there. Sun is also there. So a lot of fiery energy is what we see here. Sometimes ego hassles may be there. Because of your ego, you may act a certain way, which may not be liked by people, right? So keep your temper, your ego under check. The way you present yourself to other people, step back, think how you introspect, understand how you present yourself to other people. How do you look to other people, right? So that is something which you definitely got to be careful about. This month may also see a strain in your marriage, with Venus, your seventh lord, sitting in the 12th house of Libra. So either there could be a physical separation between you and your partner, so your partner is traveling, or you don't get to meet, work keeps you busy. If that is happening, good enough. But otherwise, there are also chances of lack of marital pleasure, lack of marital comfort, disturbance in your marriage, right? So disturbance because of your temper, or disturbance because of a third person intervening in your marriage. So you've got to be careful there and handle your partner with care, right? Apart from that, Mercury is there in your second house, and then Mercury becomes retrograde, comes to your first house also in the sign of Scorpio. At with Mercury, with the Scorpio ascendant, Mercury is a very tricky planet. It's the eighth house ruler, and it also rules the 11th house, right? 11th house, though it talks about your gains, your desire fulfillment, etc., but it also talks about weak health. It also talks about disturbances in your health, right? So 11th house is the higher note of the 6th house, and Mercury on top of it is also the 8th house ruler. So issues related to skin, issues related to digestion, or those of you who have any nervous problems, nerve related issues, this month you've got to be careful. So take care of your health if you're facing any such issues. A lot of you may look at inheritance, may look at inheritance of property, or any long pending matter, any matter which was stuck for a long time. You see some traction out there, right? So legal issues may start resolving, or you may come to some agreement with your opponents if you are in any conflict with anybody, right? This month is good for money. This month is good for gains. That is definitely on the cards. But with your relationships, you've got to be careful. With your partner, you've got to be careful. So keep your temper under check. Then moving on to the next sign of Sagittarius. So if you are Sagittarius ascendant or Sagittarius Lagna, then this month we see the Lagnesh, that is Jupiter, in the 5th house. Jupiter is anyways transiting through the 5th house, that is a sign of Aries. But by the end of the month, Jupiter also becomes direct, right? A good sign. Jupiter anyway sitting in the 5th house is giving support to the Lagna, giving support to the 9th house as well. This is a great time for your children, for your relationship with your children, for those of you who are looking at higher education or brushing up their skills or traveling, etc., or getting into a new practice of meditation, of sadhana, of some kind of spiritual practices. This is a great month. A gain from your father or your gurus is also indicated, right? For some, you may a piece of advice from your father or some help from your father will help you out, will really matter to you, right? So some timely help, timely guidance, or timely gains from your father may also come in this month for you, right? Apart from that, we see Venus sitting in the 11th house. Venus is your 6th house lord also, and it is sitting in the 11th house. A good month for gains, but you've got to be careful regarding your health this entire month. At least till the time Venus is sitting in the sign of Libra, that is till December 25th, right? Money wise, comfort wise, or any desire which was there for a long time may get fulfilled. Your luck will favor you also, but your health has to be seen, right? So if you're somebody with a chronic health issue, or you're dealing with any hormonal issue, any problems in the reproductive region, etc., then you've got to be careful. Take medical advice in time, and take care of your food intake also, right? So that is something which you've got to be careful about. This is a great month to pay off debts, pay off loans also. So your loan burden may also come down, right? Overall, this is, I would say, a mixed month in terms of, luck is favoring you, your loans may be taken care of, but Health wise, this could be a little tricky month, right? And with the sun coming into the first house in the second half of the month, sun will move out of the of the sign of Scorpio and come into the sign of Sagittarius, that is your first house. um, a lot of boost in confidence may happen, right? So I would say that though it's a mixed month, the second half will be a little better, right? uh, you want to start any new projects, or wherever you require a lot of luck, push those projects to the second half, I would say. Then moving on to the next sign of Capricorn. So if you're a Capricorn rising or a Capricorn ascendant, this month we have Saturn, that is your Lagnesh, in the second house. We also see a lot of you know planetary energy playing through the 10th, 11th and the 12th houses. Venus, your Yoga Karak planet, Yoga Karak Graha, is in the 10th house in its own sign, right? It's forming a good yoga also. Sun and Mars are together in the 11th house, and then Sun will move out into the 12th house for you by the 16th of December, that is in the second half of December. So this is a good indication for home matters. If you want to buy a new house, you want to redo your house, you want to beautify your house, etc., this is a good time. Funds will be available, you'll be able to do things with ease, right? All this while Venus is here in the 10th house, a lot of support is also provided towards all these home matters, property matters also. A gain of property may be on the cards. So if you're eyeing at buying a property, if you're looking out for a property this month, you may get a good deal. Then career wise also, this seems to be a good month with Venus present here. A lot of support may come in from your seniors, from your higher authorities. Those of you who are looking at a change in role or elevation in status may also see so this month, right? Money matters will also be important this entire month. Good ideas may kick in from your network circle, right? So when you're talking about investing your money, dealing with money, etc., so some professional advice or some new contacts from your professional circle may help you out, right? So be open and alive to these opportunities. That is important. Relationship wise also, this month is good, I would say. A lot of people may also look at starting off a new work, a new project, a new business idea may also kick in. People would like to work on those ideas, etc. So this is a month of new beginnings, finishing up your old projects, and stepping into the new year with some renewed energy, right? So a good month for the Capricorn ascendant, I would say. Then moving on to the next sign of Aquarius. So if you are Aquarius ascendant or Aquarius rising, we see Saturn sitting in your Lagna itself. We also see a lot of planetary energy in your 10th house of Scorpio. Sun and Mars are together. Mercury is also going to come back and touch the sign of Scorpio, become retrograde. So a lot of play of energy, new responsibilities may come to you, new work ideas may come in, new projects may come in. This could also be a time of change of status, rather elevation of status for many of you, right? So if you qualify for it, if you're due for an elevation, if you're due for a jump in terms of your salary, in terms of your status, your position, then this month could also bring in a lot of positive results, right? Your network circles may help you out, your higher ups, your superiors may help you out. So this is a good month work wise. Apart from that, when we talk about other things like your relationships, your marriage, etc., then this month could be a little tricky, right? So work takes up a lot of your time, lot of your energy, and maintaining that work life balance may be a little challenging for you, right? So make sure that you are trying to, you are maintaining as much of a balance as you can. Those of you who are in the creative fields may also stand to gain, or you may be able to do good work, you may be able to get recognized for your work, right? Venus is sitting here in the ninth house in its own sign, and anyways the ninth, the 10th and the 11th houses are pretty activated. So a good yoga is coming through, a good play of energy is happening through. So maximize on it, make use of the opportunities which come your way, right? Especially the creative people, especially people who write, who work with their own hands. Then moving on to the last sign of Pisces. So if you are a Pisces ascendant or a Pisces rising, this month, we already see Rahu has come to your Lagna. Rahu and Ketu axis has shifted. Now Rahu is going to be there in your Lagna throughout for the next 1.5 years. Ketu is going to be in the 7th house. We also see Jupiter in the 2nd house for you, and a lot of planetary energy active in the 8th, 9th and 10th houses. Venus is in its own sign in the 8th house. Sun and Mars are together in the 9th house. Then Mercury is there in the 10th house, and Mercury would be moving back in the to the 9th house. Sun changes. Sun comes to the Kendra Bhava, that is the 10th house for you. A lot of upheaval, change, transformation, change in plans is definitely indicated, right? Change in the way you handle your relationships. Venus is sitting in the sign of relationships, that is in the sign of Libra in your 8th house. Jupiter is also aspecting it from the 2nd house. So a lot of changes can be seen. A lot of money matters may come up, may surface up. They may be your own money, or joint money matters. In case you have a joint family system, there are some joint finances which you deal with, or inherited money, or money from your in-laws, right? So wealth matters are going to be very important, and wealth may change a lot of equations for you this month, right? Money matters, inheritance issues may bring in a lot of changes in the relationships around you, right? So deal with money matters carefully. That is what I would advise. Apart from that, a lot of change in status or gain in status is also indicated for many of you, right? With Sun coming into the 10th house in the second half, if it qualifies, if your dashas are supporting you, this may bring in a change in status, a gain in status. Those of you who are looking around for an opportunity, looking around for employment also, may get lucky in this month. After the first half gets over, the second half brings in more possibilities. It is also very important that you try to maintain cordial relations with your father. Don't get into any conflict or any situation where you disrespect your father or your superiors or your teachers, etc. Maintain humility, right? So that was all about the signs, the ascendants, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Till then, take care and God bless you.